These girls are making fun of Britain's most famous culinary genius. His desserts are incredibly comforting. Anyone who tries them feels happy, but he had a rather unhappy childhood. This is his true story. When Jack was little, his mom couldn't cook. All his life he had to eat nothing but hard toast. Poor Jack couldn't even get a whole can of food. So from a very young age he longed for good food. Back then his dream was to open a little shop filled with delicious treats, so everyone in town could buy something they loved. His father, a civil servant, saw this and thought Jack was out of his mind. Only his older neighbors supported him. He let Jack taste all sorts of delicious foods, like these fresh, crisp little radishes. That tender, juicy flavor left Jack speechless. He began to learn how to cook. His very first meal wowed the whole family. That bowl of spaghetti bolognese was absolutely delicious. Even his usually strict dad couldn't resist having a couple extra bites. Unfortunately, not long after, Mom fell ill. No one ever praised his cooking again, until a few days before Christmas. Mom finally came home, but she was even weaker than before. Jack asked Mom if they could spend this Christmas together at home. Mom nodded with great effort. On the evening 3 days before Christmas, Dad slipped in quietly. He was holding 2 gifts. He told Jack, "It's Christmas," but Christmas clearly wasn't here yet. Jack didn't understand. He looked at the gifts by the bed and fell asleep happily. As he slept, he suddenly woke up. He saw Dad sitting quietly in a small corner. He was crying. This was the first time Jack had ever seen his father cry. He walked over crying and lay down beside him. His shoulders were shaking. Mom had passed away. Since then, Dad had been coming home later and later, and seemed to be getting more and more irritable. How could he comfort his father? Jack found his piggy bank, took the money and ran to the market. After the shopkeeper heard his story, cut him a big extra piece of meat. He told Jack to preheat the oven first, then spread a thick layer of butter on the dough. Bake the bread until golden brown, and eat it while it's hot. It melted in his mouth. Good food heals everything. Jack waited excitedly, but Dad never came home. His fish was reheated over and over, and eventually burned. Just then Dad came home from work. Seeing the baked fish on the table, Dad suddenly felt that Jack had grown up. He sat down and stuffed bite after bite of meat into his mouth. At that moment Jack thought life would always be like this. But life always likes to play tricks on those who are down on their luck. Soon Jack had a new mom.